Так, ребята, привет. Что хочу сказать. Во-первых, скажите, что по звуку, насколько он тихий, громкий, прибавить, убавить, но в целом по ходу игры. Пишите. Ам, жутко, жутко, жутко. О, жутко. Пугают нас прямо в меню. Ам, так, сколько человек у нас здесь сейчас? Один человек. Вот. Ладно, подождем. Подождем. Привет. Сейчас люди подтянутся, я думаю, еще. Привет. Чё, Джон все-таки не выдержал, решил подписаться обратно. Вот так вот. Что качественный контент, от него никуда не убежишь. Так. Вот так вот. Я взял отпуск. Решил постримить на буднях, и никого нет. Сегодня, да, пофиг на матрицу. Сейчас будем играть в Slay the Princess. Игра на английском, это графическая новелла, хоррор. Надо выбирать варианты ответа, там разные пути развития сюжета. Насколько я знаю, очень много концовок, очень много способов зафакапиться. Так, 10 человек нас смотрит, 10 человек. Ну все, я думаю, уже ждать можно не ждать. Мы ждем просто людей, сейчас начнем, сейчас все будет ясно, сейчас все будет. Я так понимаю, в игре есть рассказчик, но игра на английском, да, если вас это не отпугивает. Но ты можешь в процессе приготовить пельмени. Так что читать будет рассказчик, все роли, насколько мне сказал Артем, здесь озвучены, так что Одиссея наш постоянный спутник теперь на долгие годы, она просто между делом, да, а такие специальные вечерние стримы, которые для всех, вот, это один из них. Одиссею будем продолжать, конечно же. Ладно, погнали. Герой и принцесса.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Слушайте, я не на той стороне экрана, где я должен быть сейчас. Надо поставить себя в правильное место. Вот так. Короче, мы идем убивать принцессу где-то в лесу, нам говорит рассказчик. И что, какие действия можем предпринять? Что, типа, я даже не знаю, переводить, не переводить, или просто про себя все делать. Да, у меня отпуск, я же говорю, у меня отпуск. Так, end of the world. What are you talking about? Так, значит, можно исследовать, да, погружаться глубже в лор этой игры. А можно дальше, я так понимаю, просто скипить. Блин, сколько вариантов! Ё-моё. Так, нет. Нехорошо убивать принцессу. Мы хотим задать вопрос. Хотим ли мы задать вопрос? Так. Может, кто-нибудь другой это сделает? Я не буду этого делать. Может быть и неплохо, что будет конец света. Сколько мне за это заплатят? Так. Свергнуть. Так. А погнали, просто пойдем. Просто пойдем. Я не знаю, мне кажется, первый раз, может быть, надо сыграть максимально канонично и не выпендриваться. Но у меня, во всяком случае, вот когда я только запустил игру потестить, такая мысль возникла. Поехали.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything
Она будет
to
нас обманывать.
stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
В Стиме один из топовых комментариев: после этой игры я боюсь женщин. Посмотрим, к чему это нас ведет.
We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them.
Кстати, как по звуку? Вам достаточно хорошо слышно рассказчика, музыку, как-нибудь порегулировать эти вещи?
Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Тут не было вариантов. О, все просто.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare.
Ни хрена нету здесь, говорит.
Stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note.
Ладно, окей, давай добавим.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Так, лучше по звуку рассказчика сразу пишите. Блин, а почему я с собой не взял оружие? Почему они мне его тут оставили? Какая-то подстава. Просто войти или войти с оружием? Блин. Кстати, давайте интерактив. Когда я особенно сомневаюсь, давайте чат. Давайте. Будет, может, веселее так. Сколько? А, нас всего 4 человека. Так, окей. Ладно, берем. Ладно.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
Короче, говорит гадюшник, и мы только окажем, сделаем одолжение принцессе, если зарубим ее.
Her voice carries up the stairs.
Слышим ее
Who's
голос.
there?
Говорит, кто тут?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge.
Короче, как будто бы она здесь чем-то рулит.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the
Нельзя дать
manipulation.
ей нас одурачить. Так, hi. Just checking on you. Хорошие варианты. Блин, они все хорошие. Можно воды. Вы можете, кстати, писать, чтобы я не заводил опрос, если вам какой-то вариант особенно интересен. Я прям первый вариант из чата буду брать, и все. Я максимально зрительски ориентированный человек. Так что...
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Come on down.
Come on down, come on down, come on down.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall.
Ну, короче, тут все умозрительно в целом.
She's so coldly beautiful.
Красотка.
Is she really a threat to the world?
Не может быть, чтобы она была
Focus
угрозой
on the task at hand.
мира.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
What? No! О, тут есть такой вариант. No, да, ну раз этот вариант мне первый пришел в голову, мы пойдем с ним.
That giant knife you're holding kind of gives it away, doesn't it?
No.
The blade. Of course she doesn't want to talk. Who'd want to have a conversation at knife point?
Под дулом ножа. Где камера?
Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster, but killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
Короче, мы не такие. Мы не будем действовать жестко. Давайте еще раз проверим чат на... А, я не завершил тот чат. Ё-моё. Ой, не чат. Опрос. Опрос. Сколько у нас хоть здесь человек? 5 человек. Все, уже повеселее. Ну, как бы, видимо, здесь есть герой и рассказчик, и мы как будто бы в одной лодке. Опа, вот это интересно. Чат, вы... То мы берем, то не берем. Ладно, хорошо. Так.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
Poговорим.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face, unarmed.
Я сейчас чувствую, буду подпрыгивать, как в Доки-Доки. Я прям вот, я какой-то вайб сейчас ловлю, что нас будут пугать. Потому что слишком близко она к экрану.
We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
Relationship? Не так быстро. Да, кстати. Сколько хороших вариантов. Сколько хороших вариантов. Ладно, вот этот вариант. Раз он мне первый пришел в голову, что первый приходит в голову, то и будем брать.
Don't jump to any weird conclusions. We're two people who have met each other. By definition, we have a relationship.
Так, это Slay the Princess игра. Ну, она права в целом. Да, психологический тест. Закрой глаза. Что там по клубнике? Так. Да, вот есть люди, которые говорят, что ты конец света устроишь.
Don't just tell her that.
Да почему? Это я выбираю, я выбираю.
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world, I think.
Подожди, ты же на третьем стриме соблазнитель. Мне кажется, этот тест был на втором или на первом.
I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here a long time.
Just how long has she been down here?
If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a wall? Have they told you why I'm allegedly so dangerous?
Кстати, да. Давайте так. Давайте так. Просто так. Общий курс. Давайте общий курс. Мы больше доверяем рассказчику, или мы доверяем принцессе. Голосуем. Никто не голосует, кто-то смотрит. Я вижу, люди смотрят, 9 человек. Выберем курс. Почему никто не доверяет принцессе? Ё-моё. 10 человек нас смотрят. Ну тут есть, наверное, варик, никому не верить. Просто промолчать. Ну ладно, мы доверяем рассказчику, тогда... Кстати, да, здесь есть вайп Stand the Parable. Мне кажется, тут даже, ну, типа... Ну да, ладно, все, я понял, мы доверяем рассказчику. Тогда...
Thanks for the vote of confidence.
They haven't shared a thing, have they? All they've done is point a finger. At the end of the day, whatever the two of us have going on down here is about trust. Whoever sent you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world, but they didn't tell you why. That doesn't sound right to me.
Блин, она
And I
права.
don't think it sounds right to you either. Otherwise we'd be killing each other instead of talking.
She has a point.
Да.
There's a reason I've been telling you to question the situation, and there's a reason you've listened.
So, I could tell you that I'd lead a quiet life in the woods, or that I'd open an orphanage, or that I'd do any other number of good things that I'm sure you think you want to hear. But you don't really know me, do you? What can my word possibly be worth in a situation like this?
She's
Короче,
right
что
about
бы она
one
ни
thing.
сказала,
Her word isn't worth anything.
мы не поверим.
Like I said, it's all about trust. Blind trust.
Слепое доверие.
So do you trust me, the prisoner, the victim, the princess clearly incapable of ending the world? Or do you trust whoever put me here?
Я доверяю мокрым месячанам. В чате.
She's wrong. This isn't about trust. This is about risk. We stand to lose everything, all for the sake of one person, and a subjugating monarch no less.
Так. Ну давайте имя узнаем, мне кажется, безопасная опция.
She hesitates before answering.
You can address me as your Royal Highness.
Нифига,
Or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really.
говорит Ваше Величество. Её
Again,
зовут.
she offers no specifics, no
Так.
matter how hard you try.
Так
you'll
разговор
never
у
get a
нас не
straight
пойдет.
answer out of her.
Too long.
М,
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here.
Так, ну что, по канону. Ну, 3 варианта, ладно, давайте, какой посмотрим, давайте опрос сдадим. Простой опрос. Простой опрос. Ага, никто не хочет отпускать. Оставить? Ё-моё. Борьба идет в голосовании. Кто-то еще хочет проголосовать? Еще кто-то голосует? Давайте. Окей, видимо, это все голоса. Да, вас 12 человек, 13 человек, не все проголосовали. Давайте еще хотя бы один голос. 1-2 голоса, давайте. Больше активности, дайте активности. Ладно, вижу, вы не хотите. Ладно, оставим ее, нормально. Выбор сделан, чат сделал выбор.
That seems like a pretty good compromise. Leaving her alive is too risky. If you don't deal with her soon, she...
One way or another, I'm going to find a way out of here. You can make it easier for both of us if you help. And if you don't, I can promise that you'll come to regret that decision.
Нет, не надо так на меня смотреть.
You have to make a choice. Let's hope for all our sakes it's the right one.
Че, еще раз проголосуем? Давайте еще раз проголосуем. С новыми данными, которые теперь у нас есть. Еще голосуем в чате, голосуем. Проверка, это такой тест. Это тест. Оу. Выпустить. Ну что ж, я так понимаю, больше не будет голосов. Ладно, по новым данным мы выпускаем ее.
Oh, for the love of...
Good. I'm glad you've come to your senses.
You're making a huge mistake. No, you're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key.
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
Я ключевые места перевожу, и в целом здесь все довольно наглядно. Типа, сейчас нам нужно найти ключ, и мы не знаем, где он. Ну, давайте проверим, если... Ну, может, у нее есть идея, хорошо, давайте у нее спросим.
Well, you do have that big, sharp knife. You could always cut me out of here.
She speaks with almost complete nonchalance. If we were stuck down here for long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out. Anything to finally be free. You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place.
Дверь заперли.
Is someone else here?
Попробуем
You try
дернуть
the
дверь.
door, but it's
Обычно
locked from the
это никогда не
outside.
работает.
You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done.
Ладно,
You make
возвращаемся.
your way back to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd simply slain her like you were supposed
Но
to.
мы не ищем легких путей.
Easier for whom?
Да. Для кого легче-то было бы?
Easier for everyone.
Легче для всех. Для мокромещан?
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
Да блин, нет!
The knife. Pick it up and cut me out of here.
Ну что?
You won't like what happens if you do that.
Типа руку рубить? Ну давайте.
Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the princess's arm, just above the massive, unyielding chain. You cut into her flesh.
Еще больше звуков. Че у нас с руками? Че за квадраты? Мы что, черепашка-ниндзя?
The blade is sharp, and you make quick work of it. Before long, you're able to crack through bone, and she pulls the bleeding stub of her arm through the iron gauntlet. She didn't so much as utter a sound.
Даже не вскрикнула.
Free from her bindings, the princess turns to face you, her fierce gaze meeting your eye.
Смотрит на нас.
How is she so composed after losing an arm?
Почему
It's
она
like she isn't even
такая
hesitant.
самоуверенная без руки?
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
Спасибо, говорит, валим. Все нормально. Она с нами.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade.
Да, пока не будем.
Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
Ой, сколько вариантов. Так. Ну ладно. Мы выберем единственный верный.
Stop that.
I thought this was a little too easy.
Your body lunges forward to sink the blade into her back, but the princess swiftly moves out of the way before you can connect. Stop it! Stop resisting me! I am trying to get you out of here alive.
У нас как будто какая-то внутренняя борьба происходит. Как будто нас захватили, нами управляют, мы пытаемся бороться с этим.
The blade. Move the blade.
You're doing your best to help me, aren't you? I can see the conflict in your eyes.
Сейчас, а я могу быть вместо нее? О, сейчас. Вот так. Да, немножко. Блин, зеркально все. Вот. Скриньте.
I'll make this quick.
She steps forward and pries the blade from your rigid hands.
Забирает у нас.
Maybe I'll see you in another life.
Убила
And
нас.
then she slits your throat with an almost clinical ease.
Да блин, нет.
Her face remains unchanged as she watches you collapse to the ground, blood flowing from your butchered neck.
Все, что ли?
This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die. I hope it was worth it.
Вторая глава есть.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin
Ладно,
is a princess.
делаем все иначе.
You're here to slay her.
Варианты другие, смотрите-ка, смотрите-ка. Игра как будто бы, как и в Доки-Доки, игра идет по второму кругу, но идет, видимо, с изменениями.
I can assure you that you're not dead. And to answer your second question, you're here to slay the princess. I literally told you that a second ago. Don't forget what he did to us the last time around. I wouldn't trust a word out of his mouth. There's got to be a way out of here, for us and for the princess. We just have to keep trying. I'm inclined to agree. If he doesn't remember what happened last time, maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you two, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you
Тут
think
несколько
to keep secrets
персонажей,
from.
и они все в моей голове.
A warning
Круто.
before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat. Yes, yes, don't believe a word she says. Just go in, take the knife, and do what you're supposed to.
Да зачем? Тут же есть рассказчик. Я иногда просто делаю небольшие переводы того, что здесь происходит. Но, как бы, остальное, мне кажется, все понятно.
Did you just say wink out loud? No, I didn't. Wink. Just ignore this clown and focus on the princess.
Пока не страшно, согласны? Но я скажу, когда будет страшно.
The
Я
interior of the cabin
спрячусь за
is less
стулом.
a cozy woodland retreat and more like a dungeon. A few pathetic wisps of starlight attempt to illuminate the
Слишком
cold,
сложно
uninviting
переводить
stone
и
walls, and thick, wrought iron
и
bars
озвучивать.
barricade the windows. The only furniture of note is an iron table. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want.
О, кстати, давайте посмотрим, как мы выглядим.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror. Or at least it'll be a mirror once we wipe off that layer of grime. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope
Жесть.
you know how ridiculous you look right now.
Мы крокозябры.
But there was a mirror a second ago. And now it's gone. If he doesn't want us to know about it, it must be important. We should keep our eyes peeled. Maybe it'll be back.
Пойду в этот раз без ножа.
I'm afraid I'm going to insist we take the blade. We're in a dangerous situation and I'm not letting us go down there without a weapon. Are you sure? What if she... I don't know... turns it against us? Which I'm bringing up in a purely hypothetical manner.
Спокойной ночи всем, кто уходит.
Yes, I'm sure. Turns it against you. She's a prisoner here. She'll only be able to turn it against you if you give it to her. Which you won't be doing because she's an existential... Okay. Normally, yeah, but not about this. Call it a Wonderful.
Блин, его нельзя не взять.
Sweeping the knife from the table before proceeding to the basement. Don't worry about it. We have a knife, so what? No, you don't have to do anything, but you do well to use it regardless. Moving on. The door to the basement creaks open,
Опа-на.
revealing an old stone staircase. A few
Другая
sputtering
локация.
torches attempt to vaguely illuminate your path, dancing across glimmering patches of slimy moss on the stone steps. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her voice, harsh but controlled, carries up the stairs.
Is that a visitor I hear? Please, come downstairs. It's been a while since I've had company.
Does she remember us? You walk down the
Принцесса
stairs and
другая.
lock eyes with the princess.
Аниме какое-то.
She looks up at you, the heavy collar around her neck clanking loudly as she moves. The chains binding both her wrists to the Should we be worried about the one around her
Как
neck?
будто бы более приятная, хотя глаза зловещие.
Why would you be worried about her restraints? If anything, they'll make your job easier.
Блин, а цепей-то сколько, смотрите. Ее уже так руку одну не тяпнешь.
Have you noticed the empty chain on the wall? Odd that in a place where everything seems to serve a distinct purpose, there would be something so obviously useless.
Ну-ка.
What an interesting development. Why don't you have a seat? The two of us should chat before you bury that thing in my heart.
Ну давайте сядем.
You step towards the princess,
А, нет, теперь она
but
такая
she
же,
stops you
как
before you
была.
get too close, holding up one shackled hand.
There's fine. I'd prefer we keep some distance until we've sorted this out.
That's reasonable. We do have a weapon. Might as well put her at ease.
А я сяду ближе.
Do you think this is a game? Do you think these chains take away my say in things?
As you move towards the princess, she stands, her chains clinking as she wraps them around her fists. In an instant they're around your neck, both of you dropping to the ground as she pulls them taut, bracing her body against yours as you struggle uselessly. The metal chains constrict around your windpipe as the princess heaves with a muscled intensity.
Drop the knife or you die.
Нас убили.
What is she doing? We weren't trying to attack her. I can see where she might have gotten the wrong idea. She doesn't have much agency here. Would we have trusted her if the roles were reversed? I don't know. How about we think about the nuances of interpersonal relationships when we're not being strangled? How many times did I warn you she's not to be trusted?
Шибари.
But while strangulation can be very distracting, she's not armed, and you have your pristine blade. End her before she ends you. As your weapon falls pathetically to the floor, the princess releases you from her stranglehold, shoving you away with a swift kick. Your hands test the bruised flesh of your neck as you regain your senses, watching with a dazed expression as the princess snatches up the blade.
That wasn't so hard, was it?
She pulls up her hair, smiling slightly, as she raises the blade to her throat.
You can stay right where you are for this next part.
What is she doing? She doesn't say another word as she cuts into her own neck. No. Her eyes stare forward, unblinking, as she saws through skin, veins, cartilage. At last she reaches bone, the blade grinding audibly against her vertebra as it continues to slice its way through her neck. I'll be damned. She's actually doing your job for you. Why would she do that?
Да.
Huh. So that's her play. Killing herself? She isn't dead yet. Finally, you hear a snap. Her eye twitches. There's an uneasy silence. She remains motionless for a long moment, her twitching eye the only movement in the room, until at last it stops in an unsettling half-wink. Her head twists slowly to the side, flopping to her shoulder, and her neck opens. The remaining tissue is not enough to hold the weight of her severed head. It stretches and tears until finally it falls to the floor, completely free. It bounces a few times before rolling to a stop at your feet. Oh no, oh no, oh no, what did we do? Can we put it back? Please tell me we can put it back. The princess's eyes stare up at you. Dead. Congratulations! You saved the world. I hate this. Can we just get out of here now, please? Of course, the princess is slain and the world is saved. Whenever you're ready, you can proceed to your reward.
We should take her with us, don't you think?
What? No, you shouldn't do that. Why would you do that?
I can think of lots of reasons. A trophy, proof of our victory. Hell, we could even give her a proper burial. She did save the world, right?
You don't need proof, you don't need a trophy, and she doesn't deserve a burial. Just leave.
Короче, надо взять тело или не брать тело.
Even after all that, you're still not satisfied, are you? Something is still motivating you to keep things the way you want them.
I'm just eager to put this all behind us and give you your reward. Stop reading into things. The danger has passed. You can relax.
I'm just keeping myself sharp. I'm not so eager to put my guard down.
I am. I'm on team let's put this all behind us, so can we leave already?
Но у нас нет варианта. А, ну это он и был.
Fine. You pick up the princess's severed head, its neck stump still oozing bodily fluids. Then make your way back upstairs to the first floor of the cabin.
Did you see that?
Зачем на нее
I could
смотреть
have
все время?
sworn she moved.
She didn't. She's dead.
Сейчас
But
съест
what
нас.
if she's not? Are you listening to yourself? Do I need to explain to you why decapitation is lethal? The door to your bountiful reward is right in front of you. All you have to do is open it. You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only, a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find is... Wait, no, that's not right.
Well played.
Достижение освободить узника.
This is the end of the world, isn't it? I always thought I'd at least have time to explain myself before I had to watch it happen. But it's already... over? Is he gone?
But we're still here. Maybe it wasn't the end of the world after all. Maybe it was just the end of his.
Thanks for carrying me up here. I had to take it on faith that you would know what to do. I'm glad I was right to trust you. So, this is the outside. Maybe it's just my lack of body, but it's colder than I expected.
Это так странно.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her?
Какая-то доска как будто бы. Или волосы. Вот эта текстура. Это волосы или доска? Пишите. Окей.
And there's that mirror again.
Надо в
Why's it
зеркало
here? Why
посмотреться.
now? I'm begging you, don't do this.
Мы кракозябра. Смотрим. Сейчас скриморёчек
This doesn't feel right. It
как
feels
вылетит на
different.
нас. Что мне уже страшно.
final.
You're right. Part of me wants the truth, but something stronger is holding
В
me
дурных
back.
снах лучше не смотреть в зеркало. Я как-то смотрел, там все меняется, лицо меняется, оно может быть другим, оно может меняться прямо во время просмотра зеркала во сне. Ну, можете проверить, конечно. Кракозябра! Достижение, это ты. И кто это? У нас есть подкаст, у нас есть подкаст, Кино Огонь подкаст, канал, там есть про Дюну 2, мнение всех участников. Кино Огонь, чекай. Какие-то бесконечные волосы.
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
Ты знаешь рассказчика? Так. Сколько вопросов? What are you?
I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you?
А я просто железный человек.
I think that you are like me.
Literally me.
We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks. How can the world have ended if we are talking?
Но мы где-то в межпространстве, мы в межэпошье. И общаемся с этой дамой. У нее вторая жизнь началась. Так.
Yes, nerves and fibers to feel the worlds beyond, perspectives to make my own.
Мы забрали ее голову, а она совершила конец света, и мы где-то в этом конце света сейчас.
This one is cold and cynical. She has protected herself when others could not. She will make for a clever heart. Do not mourn her. She doesn't need to be protected any longer. I have only just now stirred to consciousness. I could not have trapped you here, and I too yearn to be free.
Вот Ди Каприо бы тоже так сидел целыми днями.
She is part of me, and part of me is her. You speak in circles. Does it matter where one thing begins and another ends? I know only that they are. are the only thing I have ever known.
Это напоминает концовку Доки-Доки, честно говоря.
The
Немножко.
space we're in is vacant. Nothing comes here but us.
Эти графические новеллы приходят в одну и ту же точку.
I'm sorry. There are some changes that can never be undone. There are some tears that can never be unshed. This is not a place that can hold a fragment of a concept. The moment she arrived here, she was going to return to me. I promise that it doesn't hurt. Nothing, as we are, but I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able
Это
to.
удивительно успокаивающая игра, честно говоря. Давай, Джон, пока послушай подкаст, напиши там комментарий. Будет круто.
Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom.
АСМР игра.
You ask of things that cannot be done. To destroy is merely to reshape, to remold. How can I know? I am flickers in something sprawling and unilluminated.
АСМР. Я знаю, они там откручивают крышку. И закручивают крышку. Все.
I have not lived. I am not afraid to die. More than you have found, but less than there are to find. I am infinite. The rest will find their own way home.
Ну ладно, погнали.
She asks that I tell you to remember her. You won't.
Что-то разбилось.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And
О,
in the
написали,
basement of
что
that cabin
игра начинается только
is a
сейчас.
princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Так. Давай, давай, давай.
I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people. You have to put an end to her. Don't linger on the specifics. You have a job to do here. Just get in there and do what needs to be done. We're all counting on you. You're already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important
Это реально как
task?
сон, когда ты просто
Made it this
начинаешь с
far,
рандомного
you might as well
места,
reach the end of your journey.
и тебя ведут куда-то. И дальше ты выбираешь, делать что-то или не делать.
Does it? Are you a monarchist? Is slaying a princess that much worse than slaying a fisherman or a miller or a seamstress? If anything, slaying a princess is much better than slaying a seamstress. Seamstresses contribute something of value to society. Oh, if only that were the case, but I don't make the rules. I have to say, I'm surprised at your reluctance thus far. But unfortunately for the both of us, you're the only one who can pull this off. Like I said, I don't make the rules, no matter how much I wish I did. Are you serious? No, you have to do it. Of course I haven't. Why would I even consider that? Nobody wants the world to end. I mean, maybe some people do, like nihilists, or very, very evil people, but surely you're not one of those, right? Yes, but you'll have to slay her before you get it. It's a secret, but I think you'll like it. It's a special reward, just for you. And whatever you think it might be, I can promise you it's going to be even better than your wildest imagination. Then I guess we'll just have to see what happens. But a word of warning. If you go in prepared to hear her out, she could easily trap you in her web of lies. And the more you listen to her honeyed words, the harder it'll be to pull yourself out. Then each and every one of us is doomed. So sure, go, talk to her. See how that turns out for all of us. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's...
А домик такой современный, да? Типа не...
The interior of the cabin
Викторианская
is almost
эпоха.
entirely bare. The air is stale and musty,
Скорее,
and the floor and walls are painted in
вегетарианская
a
эпоха.
fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a priester blade is your implement.
Понятно, понятно. Может, сейчас мы сможем не брать его? О! Можно не брать,
The
смотрите.
door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp. A hint of rot fills her
Понятно.
voice softly carries.
Hello? Is someone there?
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed.
Я даже не знаю, что я делаю. Просто спущусь.
Good. You're still listening to reason. It would be better if you had a weapon, but you may still be able to do what needs to be done. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to anyone? I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. Do you think you can get me out of these chains? Okay.
Поговорим. Она такая, ничего, веселенькая как будто.
don't see what that has to do with anything.
This is the only time this is ever going to happen, but
Да
I
блин, ну,
agree with the
непонятно, что она
princess.
ест.
Okay, but actually, what has she been eating? She has to eat, right?
М, Сколько вариантов опять. Ох.
The princess hesitates before responding. She doesn't know. She's been down here too long to have any idea of what she'd do in another life. She knows what she'd do. She's just searching for whatever answer she thinks you want to hear.
Are you looking for the truth, or are you looking for the right answer? Because with the dynamic we have going on here, I don't think the specifics of what I do really matter. It's not like you'd believe me. Of course I'm locked up down here for a reason. I don't actually know what that reason is, but
Чё, она
you
не
don't
знает,
just stuff a
кто её
princess in a
заковали.
basement and throw away the key without there being some sort of an explanation,
А,
right?
это, короче, это было вот в первый раз она сидела с одной цепью, и мы отрезали ей руку с цепью, она выбралась и убила нас. А во второй раз она была уже полностью закована. Сейчас она опять с одной цепью.
You have all the explanation you need, and you should know better than to trust whatever she comes up with.
Так.
That seems like a pretty good compromise.
I don't think I could bear being down here that much longer.
Короче, я думал, мы посидим здесь еще разберемся,
If you don't deal with her soon,
что мы
she
чувствуем
will
друг к
find a
другу.
way out. So I'm the only one who liked that idea.
One way or another, I'm going to find a way out of here. It would make it easier for both of us if you'd help. But if you don't, I can promise that you'll regret that decision.
Хочет, угрожает нам,
You have
короче.
to make a choice. Let's hope for all our sakes it's the right one. You can't be serious.
Thank you. Thank you. You won't regret this, I promise.
You're making a huge mistake. No, I think you're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them
Не можем
apart.
сломать цепи.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Нет у нас
Maybe it's
ключа.
somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended...
Okay. I'll be here. Good luck.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here? You're Your shouts and pleas are met with... I'll repeat myself once again. You try the door. You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade.
То есть,
like
вот
you were
интересно, что
supposed
теперь
to.
будет? Ножа у нас нет.
Easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf.
Чё она раньше так не сделала?
As she rips her
Ждала
flesh from her
меня.
bone, a sound comes from behind you. The clang of bounce. It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now. Or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do that.
Мы уже так делали. Мы уже пытались ее так спасти, и это привело к тому, что она нас убила. Давайте, хорошо, голосование. Голосование. Я опять сомневаюсь. Голосуйте в чате, голосовалка. Жестко. Оу. Так, 13 зрителей, но всего 5 голосов. Что ж такое? Где активность? Дайте активности. Ладно, вы не хотите. Еще один голос. Кто-нибудь, нажмите, просто нажмите. Давайте. О. Я понял. Ладно. В целом, вайб чата понятен.
Without hesitation, you bring the blade down and plunge it into the princess's back. Finally. The wound drives her to the ground.
Мы стараемся. Спасибо.
Okay. There's no going back now. I'm with you to the end.
You bastard.
Bastard.
Were you lying to me this whole time?
The princess pushes away from you, the motion ripping the blade from her back. Wounded, but still alive, she crouches on all fours in the corner of the room and meets your eyes with the ferocity of a cornered predator.
Нет.
You've made a terrible enemy, and there's nothing in the world that can possibly save you from me.
I thought we had the upper hand, but it's as if she's barely even threatened by us. It's an act. She's wounded and unarmed. There's nothing she can do to hurt you. I'm not so sure. Don't waver now. As you ready your blade to deliver a lethal blow, she lunges at your legs with the same animal ferocity she used to tear at her arm. Your knife cuts into her again and again as you're tackled to the ground, your body racked with pain as she rips into you with tooth and claw. Forget about trying to rescue her. This is about survival now. Give her everything you've got. Though your nerves are seizing with pain, you know you've done your fair share of damage as well, your blade having left deep gashes in the princess's back. You seize a moment of hesitation to throw her off of you and shakily push yourself back to your knees. We can still turn this around.
Что делаем? Давайте еще голосоваху. Голосуем. Голосуем. Ровно идет. О, 8 голосов, ё-моё. Вы активней стали, активней. Это приятно. Ну что же выбрать? Ну ладно, видимо... Ладно, завершаем опрос. Ладно, хотя бы раз в этой игре закончим.
You steel your resolve and take another step closer to the princess. You probably won't make it out of here alive, but you can still make sure that she won't make it out of here either. Excuse me? What's this about not making it out of here alive?
Говорит, мы, похоже, не выберемся оттуда
Do you
живьем.
think this is what I wanted to happen? I have a duty to state the facts of the situation, and honestly, it's a miracle anyone in this room is still standing right now.
А там дверь все равно
Don't act so
закрыта.
surprised.
Кто же нас выпустит?
Can you not feel all those gashes and holes pulling you apart? If the princess doesn't do you in here, blood loss is certain to finish the job. You take another step forward, and the princess lunges towards you. The two of you enter one last exchange, a flurry of blade and claw and fleshy ribbons, and then you stop. Neither you nor princess able to go any further. You collapse on the ground, and the princess collapses beside you. Blood pools around you both, and you watch each other fade away.
After all this time alone, I thought I'd finally found a friend, but you were just another monster, weren't you?
Silence as the room starts to get fuzzy around you. You've paid a terrible price, but you've saved us all. It's over.
If you think this is it, you're sorely mistaken. One way or another, I'll
Говорит, это
make
еще не
sure
конец.
you pay for this.
But you don't have time to worry over such things. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Говорит, ну тебе уже пофиг, ты просто умер. Опять вторая глава.
You're on a path. You're here.
Да, вот это хороший вопрос. Я ведь ее уже убил, зачем все это заново?
I can assure you that you didn't slay her and that she didn't kill you. People don't just spring back to life after dying, and the two of us are meeting for the very first time. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. Brilliant. We need to keep our cards close to our chest, and I'm not sure we can trust him. You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from. Did I say I'm not sure we can trust him? Slip of the tongue, bit of the old brain fog. I meant to say that we should probably head over to the cabin and slay that princess. We already know we can't trust her, so let's get on with the show. Those are two very different questions, but fine.
Да,
I'll
зачем мне
indulge
делать
you
еще
if that's what it
раз, если я
takes
это
to get
сделал?
you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version. You died last time, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me. We were just weighing our options in a morally ambiguous situation. You can't blame us for weighing our options. We did our best with the information we were given. And we did kill her. And yet you still died, didn't you? So congratulations. You've been given another chance to actually do this right. And I believe your other question was something along the lines of, oh, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences. What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. We killed the princess killed us, and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself? Or were you instead transported to a different world entirely? Had you failed to slay the princess, what would have happened to everyone in the place you left? That's a very good point. This princess character seems like a lot of trouble, and if you think about it, actually slaying her probably breaks us out of this cycle, right? We don't want to be stuck here forever, do we? You're laying it on a little thick, aren't you? Laying it on a little thick? What are you talking about? I'm sharing my honest opinion. What matters is that almost everyone seems to be on the same page. So whenever you're ready, you can stop dawdling, get to the cabin, and save the world.
О, можно уйти.
Well, you're the boss. Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave? Do you even know where you're going? Fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin. That's strange. It looks like this path also leads to the cabin. How
О,
convenient. Everything's back on track again. Maybe you're really
Опять
keen on
ухожу.
wasting everyone's time.
в мокрое место.
It's remarkably selfish, if you ask me. I've already outlined the stakes of the situation. If you don't do your job, everyone dies. Like, die. But fine, you turn around and trek back down the path you came.
Wait, something isn't right. Can you still hear me? You're supposed to wind up back at the cabin again. But everything is getting fuzzy.
Что происходит?
What,
Конец
what's going
света.
on? Where are we? I like it. Seems like it's got great acoustics.
Мы в бесконечной тишине. Память возвращается. Что-то к нам приближается. О. Это руки меня хватают. Забирают душу. Нельзя вернуться.
You're on
Опять
a
глава
path
1.
in the woods. And at the end of that path, you're here.
Окей.
You make your way. We're not going to ignore. The interior of the cabin is almost entirely. You take the blade from. The door to the basement creaks open. Her voice.
Who's there?
She sounds. Don't let it.
Oh, are you now? Why don't you come down and let me take a look at you?
Great job. You gave away the element of surprise. Good luck, hero. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's so coldly
Focus on the task.
You weren't kidding when you said you were here to kill me. How about you drop the knife, and the two of us just talk?
Look how reasonable she's being. We should just drop the blade and talk things out. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do.
Так, мне кажется, это был реально... Это была концовка игры, вот то, что мы увидели в прошлый раз, и, видимо, неудачная. Наверное, все-таки правильно действовать. Хотя мы вот этого еще не
You
делаем.
ignore the trembling in your hands and
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be.
you step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
Then I'm not talking to you.
Не знаю, что это слово значит. Даже два слова не знаю, что значит. Ну-ка, переводчик. Импас. Да, это тупик. Импас, тупик. И сквинт это щурится.
I guess we are.
For the love of everything, just or drop the blade. You stare at the princess, squinting fiercely. She squints back.
А, мы с прищуром смотрим.
The two of you are gonna do this forever, aren't you? You'll have to blink eventually. Just make a choice.
Ладно, мне кажется, мы в тот раз шли по правильному пути в целом, как будто бы.
The blade tumbles out of you.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just...
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face. Unarmed.
Если ты бывал здесь... Раньше я все время играю в дубляже, если он есть. И кино смотрю в дубляже, если он есть. Просто тут нету ничего. В целом просто... Ну, для меня нету проблемы в том, чтобы посмотреть что-то в оригинале, если это английский. Но это просто дополнительная работа, неосознанная. Чуть-чуть голова больше напрягается, а иногда этого не хочется.
We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
А, вот как, вот как. Ну, отлично, так-то, да, здесь весело. Еще есть Twitch, туда, там более длинные игры, которые... Короче, я иногда просто устаю удалять стримы с YouTube или копить их здесь, их уже никто не смотрит, я просто иду на Twitch, и вот там сейчас проходим Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Просто по фану. Так.
You can't. Don't bother.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then.
Так,
I'm sure
это уже
there's a
был у нас
clown.
разговор про
Her
ключ.
shot. She isn't. She is.
Do you? So, you're not going to share? How pointless. If you want to talk, I'll talk. But this isn't talking. Oh? Have you decided what to do with...
You know why. Oh, you have to be kidding me. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall. They're large and heavy, far too solid.
If you don't have the key...
Doubtful.
That would be fine. I can lose an arm.
She speaks with almost complete nonchalance. If we were stuck down here for long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out. Anything. You would... Is someone else here? You make your way back to the bottom of the stairs. Easier for everyone.
Так,
I
все это
heard
уже
the door
было.
slam. They locked you down. The knife.
You won't... Against you, you cut into her. The blade, she didn't so much as free from... How is she...
Thank you.
No, we won't have any of us. The princess... Wait, this is... Watch me. Stop that. Your body...
А, смотрите-ка, что происходит, ребята. В прошлый раз был вот этот вариант, что типа можно сопротивляться до последнего, а теперь нам не оставляют другого варианта. И, видимо, мы все еще не заново играем. Видимо, что-то тут не так. Ну ладно.
Thank you. You swing your arm towards her throat, the blade singing through the air. But she's ready for it. She grabs your arm, her grip like a stone vice. You drop the blade, pathetically.
Фига, она сильно качалась там, пока меня не было.
She lets go, and faster than you can react, rears back and hits you with a bone-shattering haymaker. There's a ringing in your ears. You're fairly certain you can feel bone grinding against bone where she fractured your jaw, but your body isn't
Сломала
allowing
нам
you to feel
челюсть.
much right now. Adrenaline coursing through your system and numbing your nerves. You fall to your knees. You're barely able to bring your trembling arms up to defend yourself before she hits you again. Every blow is as punishing as the first.
Вы все еще
You feel
кракозябра.
bones shatter with every impact, unknown ruptures blossoming with blood somewhere inside of you.
You poor thing. I'll go ahead and put you out of your misery.
She places a confident heel on your chest and pushes you down to the ground. Her knee falls to your throat, your windpipe crushed beneath a weight you didn't think her slight form could possibly possess.
Привет.
It can't just end like this, right? I'm sorry, but it's over. Everything goes dark.
Нет, там было чуть раньше, мы к зеркалу подходили, мы точно кракозябра. Башня.
You're on a path, you're here.
Понятно, понятно. Да, это уже было. Мы это все спрашивали. Пошли к кабине сразу.
She will lie. We might... Can we turn... I'm not being a peasant. You're being annoying. Just ignore their bickering, and whatever you do, don't pledge yourself to her. I cannot stress enough how absolutely catastrophic that would be for everyone, yourself included. I agree. If she's wrongfully imprisoned, then we should rescue her, but if he's telling the truth, we shouldn't just hand her the world on a silver platter. Rescue her? Given the stakes of the situation, there isn't really a difference between rescuing her and pledging yourself to her. Either would be terrible. So please, try to ignore... If that's what you want. The interior of the cabin is larger and
что-то
more
новенькое.
grandiose than its humble exterior would suggest. The only furniture of note is a massive marble altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge.
Туда еще лезть надо.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this
То есть это
right.
было все-таки не начало игры, мы все еще играем вперед.
Why do we feel so small? We don't feel small. We are small.
Посмотрим в зеркало, если нам дадут в этот раз.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. What are you talking about? You
Блин,
reach
опять оно
forward,
исчезло.
rub your hand again. We should count ourselves lucky. Some things are better left unseen.
Хорошо. Ну, будем спасать ее. Но, с другой стороны, меч тоже нужен всегда, чтобы там ей что-нибудь, короче, он пригодится, может. Часто.
You take the blade from the altar. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
Мы маленькие.
The door
Маленькая
to the basement
кракозябра.
creaks open, revealing a spiral staircase. Its steps almost as deep as you are tall. The smell of incense drifts up from below. For a moment, you almost feel at ease. This is actually kind of nice. It's still a stone basement.
If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
Her booming voice rolls up the stairs.
Is that a guest I hear? Don't linger on the stairs. Come down and witness me.
Что-то жуткое.
You weren't kidding when you said it was booming. She wasn't like this last time.
Да, она была милее.
We need to get down there. She wants us to see her. We need to see her. Should we be worried about your sudden
15
change in
человек,
attitude?
нифига.
Just a few minutes ago you were going on about how pointless everything was. Now you want to go down there. It doesn't matter what that little voice says. He's not the one making the decisions. Though if his ramblings get you to the princess, they get you to the princess. Making your way down the spiral staircase is a time-consuming and exhausting effort, every step requiring you to clamber over one edge before dropping to the next. But soon the end comes into view, and you tumble to the bottom, entering the vast, temple-like room beyond. The princess towers over you, almost glowing in the weak starlight, her figure
Красотка.
framed by a stained glass window.
Надо
Her
спасать.
long hair billows around her, and a chain binds
Женщина
her
в беде.
wrist to the far wall.
Ждала свою маленькую кракозябру, и вот я здесь.
The chain is nothing to her. It might as well be a toy for all the good it would do. I told you it was pointless to resist her.
The little bird has returned to me. I wonder what he wants. You brought that knife again, even though you know it's useless. Such charming audacity. Drop it.
Как? Как дропать? А.
The blade slips from your fingers and clatters uselessly to the floor. We didn't have to do that. And yet you did. She is so much more than us. You wouldn't understand what it feels like to be in her presence.
Она всегда меняет. В каждой новой локации она по-другому выглядит.
Oh, I understand what's going on, and you'd better snap yourself out of it.
Как же там было? Snap out of it. I wanna grab both your shoulders and shake, baby. Snap out of it.
Kneel.
Есть такой вариант? Хорошо.
On her command, you fall to the floor, knees painfully
Не этому нас
connecting with
учил
hard
супер
stone.
соблазнитель, но тут уж что поделать.
That's my good little bird.
Да,
Now, why don't we talk?
да.
The last time we met, you told me I was destined to end the world. That thought wrapped itself around my heart. It has pulled at me since the moment I squeezed the life out of your broken lungs. I could feel its fundamental truth awaken me.
Привет, повар.
The collapse of the old is a necessary prelude to the birth of the new. And the world as it is now is overdue for alterations.
Она жуткая.
It's time for me to seize my destiny. And you, little bird, will help me seize it.
Well, that gives away the game, doesn't it? It does. But why did she say the last time we met? She's right. We've been here before, and we've died here before. Pitifully.
Ну, с такой
We might
женщиной
as well do what she asks of us and help her.
можно, ну,
She
короче,
is inevitable.
можно
Can't you feel it?
покорять мир. Мы будем.
He's being melodramatic, but the point stands. What are we even supposed to do to stop her? Well, I'll be damned. That's not good. Okay. First things first, you're going to have to stuff those pessimistic thoughts someplace far, far away, and the stakes of the situation should be perfectly clear to everyone now. If you're going to save the world, you have...
А, ой. О, интересные диалоги тут. Да, надо сказать ей, что вот, что ей не обязательно надо уничтожать мир. А, сори. Окей, да, могу.
This isn't about desire. This is about what I am. And I have little interest in discussing destiny with one that cannot see the divine truth that shines in my heart.
Сори, ребят, сори.
All you have to do is break these chains and set me free.
Ладно, видимо, у меня уже серьезный стрим-канал, надо всех предупреждать, понял. 60 человек нас смотрит, вот это дела. Да, почему она не может выбраться, если она такая сильная?
Don't be rude. It's not rude to question someone who's apparently trying to end the world. That's exactly why it's rude.
I can, easily. But that isn't what I want to do. The story of a terrible and bountiful God unbounded of her own will is no story at all. It's not worthy of everything I am or everything I'm bound to become. It isn't even worthy of what I was.
Не, смотри, там, где написано Explore, это не влияет на сюжет. Это просто наводящие, уточняющие вопросы для принятия дальнейшего решения.
The destruction in Genesis that's to follow in my wake is deserving of a song that can echo for eternity.
Жесть. Я уже не знаю даже.
The song of you, being so struck by my glory, so overwhelmed by what I am, that you feel you must deliver me into the world. And from your act of utter devotion and submission springs a new dawn, a better dawn. Submit now, submit later. It makes no difference. Because in the end, no matter how vainly you struggle against me, my will triumphs over yours.
Оу. Ну-ка, чё тут? Ну, вот, собственно, два варианта в итоге. Это покориться. Вот, на самом деле, интересно, учитывая, что мы маленькая кракозябра, как мы с ней будем бороться. И в то же время интересно, что будет, если мы согласимся. Поэтому я, пожалуй, спрошу у вас, сейчас будет опрос, помочь принцессе, сопротивляться принцессе. Голосуем, подумаем. что решат зрители. Все решают зрители в этом чате, в этом голосовании. Ну, кстати, да, голоса разделились. О, 50 на 50, как сложно! Давайте еще! Кто-то должен решить. Не все проголосовали, вас 16, 17. Голосуйте, пожалуйста. Даже, не, половина. Ну да, половина почти проголосовала. Не, половина проголосовала, но есть еще зрители. Голосуйте. Помочь. Все хотят помочь. Ну ладно. Все. Считаю до 10 и помогаем принцессе, ясно? Раз. Два. Блин. Считаю до 10. Нужен еще голос. Решающий голос. 18 человек, давайте. Нужен решающий голос. А никто не знает суть игры. Никто не знает, куда мы идем и что правильно, а что нет, поэтому... Ладно, я понял. Ладно, поможем, окей. Я тоже думал в первую очередь помочь, а потом уже... Все, завершаем опрос. Я тоже... 19 человек, ё-моё. Так, хорошо, давайте поможем ей. Окей, все, чат сделал выбор.
Your will was so easily broken. Am I that magnificent?
Да. Ты покорила мокрый мещан.
All you need to do now is break my chains.
А, мы все еще можем подумать, кстати. Игра всегда дает еще минутку подумать.
If this is what you want, then I guess there's not much else for me to say.
No, you can't just give in to her, not when the stakes are so high, not when you're so close. I won't let you do this.
There's still something in the way. A greasy film inside of you where it doesn't belong, trying to conceal you from me. Is that a person? No, it used to be a person. It's something different now. An echo.
Is she talking about you? That's impossible. She's not supposed to be able to interact with me.
You're a small one, aren't you?
Да.
A shriveling little worm stretched beyond its
Как
limits,
грубо.
trying to control things that it can't understand.
Вот только она мне начинает нравиться. И сразу давай вот это все вываливать на меня. Оскорблять меня. Мне это не нравится. Слышишь, ты?
No. What are you talking about? I'm just...
I don't care what you are. You're mine.
Рассказчик.
Rise, my little bird.
Without hesitation, you're brought to your feet.
Она захватила рассказчика. У нас в голове живет несколько персонажей. Рассказчик, скептический голос, голос героя, еще кто-то, я там не знаю. Ну, видимо, она... И с рассказчиком иногда происходят какие-то метаморфозы.
Break my chains.
And how are we supposed to do that? All we have is a blade. All you need to do is believe it's been done.
Я теперь не знаю уже. Возможно, поборемся с ней. У нас даже нет вариантов. Все, здесь уже нету. Или надо, если мы поспрашиваем, то будет вариант. Так.
You poor, wretched little thing. You already do believe. You've always believed.
It's easy. And once you let her in, you'll be safe and free forever.
Please, don't do that.
Так, а этот вариант что значит? Я уже не знаю, хочу ли я помогать ей. Или не хочу. Ну ладно, чат решил ее отпускать. Давайте отпустим. Да. Все. Отпускаю.
Her chains shatter, and the cuff falls from her wrist. She is loose, and the end is upon us.
What a good disciple you are. Come, it's time for us to leave.
Мне трофей дали. Все, опять мы куда-то улетели в одуху. Да я взял руку, чё такое?
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again.
Давайте опять смотреть в зеркало. Кто мы? Все еще кракозябра.
This doesn't feel right. It feels I don't want to look at her.
А, мы выросли? Чё? Ну да.
When I found you in the long quiet alone, I was terrified. What if you had decided to let me wither? But your commitment now is final. Your ability to walk the path of mutual annihilation is vanished with your return. If you still wish to obliterate me, it will have to wait until I am complete. Flickering lights and empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before. Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again. Is a child the same as an infant? I am an unbroken pattern, but every vessel gives fresh perspectives and carves new avenues of expression. I am different.
Мне кажется, надо ее надо как-то выбрать уже одну стратегию и спасать ее все время.
I'm sorry. Words are difficult for me. They never fully weave what I wish to say. If you do not like my answers, then you need not ask me questions. The vessels you choose to bring me carry far more meaning than anything words could say in the spaces between. With every gift you bring me, I excavate the alleys of what I am meant to be, and every exploration yields new and complicated truths. What I will be is different than what I am, and what I am is different
Вообще
from
она
what
мутно
I want. I
говорит все
cannot
время.
tell you what desires I will hold when I... But in this moment, all I want is to know myself and to know you.
Нет, я не играю. Ну, в смысле, я начал, и я устал читать, выбирать варианты. Там еще ходить надо. Слишком много чтения. Так.
Why wouldn't I be kind to you? You are the only thing I know that isn't me.
Да я знаю, но я не хочу.
Gifts aren't what someone tells you to bring them. My joy is in
Ну
seeing
да
what
ладно,
you
иногда
choose.
заказывают
There
подарки.
are no wrong answers.
and every perspective illuminates my shadows and shares new secrets. The vessels are shaped by memories of you, but their impulses are drawn to the edge of the long quiet. To them you are a gate to something more, and any hurt you've caused them is understood as a fair price for freedom. But they are only thoughts and perspectives. They are not me. The wounds they've suffered carve texture around my heart. I would be alone and without sensation. I could not feel the joy of having you by my side.
Короче, ладно.
I will long for your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am. We will meet again.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin.
Круто.
And in the basement of that cabin is you're here.
Понятно. Это все было. Или есть еще какие-то варианты?
You make your way up the short path to the... We're not going to go... Ignore. The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the blade...
Понятно. Погнали.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the... The door to the basement creaks open. Her voice.
Who's there?
She sounds... Don't let it fool...
Так, ну мы здесь уже пробовали многие варианты.
Oh, it's been so long since anyone's come down here. I was starting to think they'd forgotten about me.
You walk down the stairs, and she's so cold. Focus on the task.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
Так. А вот... Мы уже говорили.
Then drop the knife.
We should. Don't you dare. It's fine. The blade...
Thank you.
Against your better judgment will be... I don't know what you're hoping to...
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship. Oh, have
You know why you're here.
Мы это уже все просто проходили. Тут, по-моему, уже мы третий, четвертый раз оказываемся вот на этой локации. И здесь варианты не меняются почти. И вот мне интересно сейчас, как она будет выбираться, если мы выберем ее спасать.
You walk up, they're large and heavy.
I'm guessing
В тот
you
раз
don't
нам
have the
некоторые
key.
варианты ответа просто не дали выбрать.
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful.
I'll be.
You attempt to make someone... You try the door. You're here.
Ключа все еще нет.
You make your way back to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier for everyone.
I heard the door slam. The knife.
You won't.
А, смотрите-ка, у нас теперь нет варианта ее спасать. Окей.
Without hesitation, you bring the blade down. The princess flinches as you strike, and your weapon sinks into her shoulder.
You bastard. If I have to kill you to leave this place, I'll do it.
I thought we had the upper hand, but it's as if she's barely even threatened by it. It's an act. She's unarmed, and there's nothing she can do to hurt you. I'm not so sure. Don't waver now. As you raise your blade to strike again, she kicks out, knocking your legs out from under you. The two of you struggle on the ground. You lash out with the blade, slicing wherever you can. Her fists connect with your body again and again, each blow stronger than the last, shattering bone and rupturing tissue with reckless abandon. Forget trying to rescue her. This is about survival now. Give her everything you've got. You roll out of her grasp and shakily push yourself back to your feet. Though every inch of you is in pain, the princess probably has it worse. Blood pours out from countless gashes, staining her once pristine dress. She pauses for a moment, catching her breath, staring at you with wild eyes. We can still turn this around.
А, опять у нас есть варианты. Ну, мы уже заканчивали дело, мы просто умерли, так что бежим наверх.
The princess is still chained to the wall. There's nothing she can do to stop you from getting out of here. What if she doesn't succumb to her wounds? Whatever she is, she's so much more dangerous than I thought she'd be. You rush up the stairs
дверь
and
открылась.
dive past the threshold. You're safe. For now. You close the basement door, locking it behind you and quickly barricading it with the heavy wooden table that once held the blade. Okay, we can make this work. She has an awful wound and we have all the time in the world. Playing jailkeeper for a while might make things a little easier. You settle in against the far wall to watch the basement door. It isn't long before you start to drift off, your eyelids heavy with fatigue. But sleep doesn't come. Instead, your rest is broken by a piercing, wailing voice calling out to you from the other side of the door.
I know you're still there. Why don't you make things easier on yourself and let me out?
Оу.
It's not like this little door will hold for very long
Выпустить?
anyways. It's probably a good idea to try to get back on my good side.
She sounds terrifying. Like she's less of the princess you saw and more like something out of a nightmare. As she violently rattles the door, you do your best to shut her out of your mind.
When I get out of here, I'm going to pick you apart piece by piece. I won't forget what you did, and I'll never forgive it.
Жесть, это очень плохая стратегия переговоров с
You
ее
know the
стороны.
kind of enemy you've made tonight.
It doesn't sound like she's getting any weaker. No, it doesn't.
У нас нет одного варианта, надо же. Забить и пойти спать. Я думаю, это хороший вариант. Или нет, какой-то еще. Ну ее выпустить нельзя, так что я просто пойду спать.
Just ignore her. Maybe the banging and wailing will stop if you just don't pay attention to it. You put the princess's threats out of your mind as best you can and huddle up against the wall. You jolt awake in the middle of the night to silence in the
нет.
cabin. The ruckus has stopped, and the door to the basement is ajar, its lock broken, and the table shoved out of the way. Where is she?
Thanks for helping me get out of that awful basement.
Нет.
You try and stumble to your feet, but as the princess draws near, it's as though your body simply stops working. It isn't all at once. The paralysis comes in waves.
Жутко.
First your toes go numb,
Но не так жутко, как в
and then your
Доки-Доки.
feet, and then your legs.
Кто не видел стримы Доки-Доки у меня на канале, в трансляциях чекайте.
Unable to do
Это что-то.
anything but witness her approach.
И комменты оставляйте.
Whose side are you on? Yours, of course. But I have a duty to uphold the truth. Lying about the facts of the situation doesn't change them.
So helpless. I can take my time with you, can't I?
She steps closer, one silent footfall at a time, cocking her head in curiosity as you feel your organs shutting down one by one.
Or maybe I can't take my time with you. You don't look well. A little green around the gills.
What a shame. If you'd only helped me get out of here, we could have done such wonderful things together.
Your lungs stop drawing in breath, and your heart freezes in your chest. You have seconds left.
I'd say better luck next time. But we both know this is the end, don't we?
It can't be. This can't actually be how everything ends. I'm sorry, but it is. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Да блин, нет. Ладно, давайте последний круг
You're on
сыграем.
a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Ну, это понятно, погнали.
A warning, she will lie. I don't think...
Некачественный психодел, на самом деле, хорошая вещь.
The interior of the cabin is plain, the smooth wood of the walls almost featureless. The only furniture of note is a lone table, knocked on its side in the corner of the
О, что-то
room.
новенькое.
A pristine blade stands between you and the open, inviting basement doorway.
К
The
зеркалу нам
blade
опять
is
не
your
дадут подойти,
implement.
наверное.
Hold on. It's just an empty frame. She's already gotten out, hasn't she? And she's ready for us. She's been waiting. Can't you feel her eyes on her? I'm going to need all of you to pull yourselves together. The princess has not already gotten out. But if you keep getting stuck in your head like this, you're going to struggle to get the job done. So deep breath in, deep breath out. Your task awaits, and only you can do it.
Но, учитывая, что в этой игре 90 трофеев Стима, я просто... Да я даже не знаю, сколько здесь развязок может быть.
You walk up. What are you talking? You
Опять.
reach forward and rub your hand.
А мы все еще
He make it
кракозябра.
go away. Clearly there was something in there worth investigating if he wants it hidden.
Ладно,
So you
возьмем.
reach down and good. Is it gonna be enough though? Couldn't you have given us something else?
Ну, конечно.
Something, I don't know, better than a knife? Could we have a bomb? A blade is the only thing you need to finish your task. You're more than capable of pulling this off, so long as you don't lose faith in yourself.
Keep the face, keep the face.
Those are the words of someone who knows he's sending us to our death.
На самом деле, вот, что в Детройте, что вообще во всех этих играх, кинофильмах, киноиграх, новеллах, выбивать все трофеи самое такое мучительное и без... Короче, мучительное дело, потому что ты как бы ничего не делаешь, ты просто заново смотришь все эти сцены, ты их видел уже 100 раз, уже никакого удовольствия от этого не получаешь, в отличие там от каких-нибудь гриндел, где ты хоть что-то, но делаешь какие-то приятные для тебя вещи. В конце концов, игра — это игра.
You cross over the threshold and onto a series of isolated steps suspended in darkness. More eyes, too. You never mentioned the eyes.
Да, да, хорошее слово. Я хотел сказать joyless.
The air seeping up from below reminds you of fresh lightning.
But also
static,
time
as
consuming.
if you're descending into
Sure.
a place that isn't meant for a creature of flesh and blood. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor.
Right.
Her cruel and playful voice pranced.
I didn't think you'd come back. We're gonna have a lot of fun, you and I.
Так, красивые принцессы еще будут или как?
Come back. She must have you confused with someone else. You really don't remember, do you? It doesn't matter, we need a game plan. We know we can't just go down there unprepared.
Пройти мимо ступенек. Ну, будем говорить.
Didn't you hear my warning a minute ago? She can't be trusted. Talking won't do you any good. Something tells me she isn't going to be very keen on talking anyway. You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. As you emerge, you find yourself between two loose rows of white wooden planks suspended in nothingness. A smattering of cobblestones visible
глаза,
against
смотрите,
the
вот
inky
тут.
black of the basement mark where the floor should be, forming vague pathways. At what seems to be the end of the room, they diverge in opposite directions, left and right. She could be anywhere, and there's nowhere for us to hide. We're completely exposed.
А, нет, вот еще глаза есть, да?
Are you really not
Ну
going
вот
to
это
comment on how
настоящий,
weird this
наверное.
place is? No, I'm not. Somebody needs to be the voice of reason here, and it certainly isn't you.
Блин, мне теперь захотелось, у
I'll
них
be
есть еще
incredibly
сонная лощина игра, я
reasonable.
чувствую, я ее
You're
тоже
the one who's
куплю.
just matter-of-factly
По-моему, это круто.
describing whatever the hell we're looking at like it's an ordinary basement. We're going to die down here. I don't want to die again. Please stop saying that.
I wouldn't give it too much thought if I were you. It doesn't really matter. Because either way you go, I'm going to find you.
Смотрите. Ничего не делать так, ну... Я все-таки хочу ее увидеть, поэтому буду
You
стоять.
decide it's best to do nothing.
There you are.
Ой,
I
жутко.
told you I was going to find you.
As the princess approaches,
А, не, она
your
красивая.
legs suddenly go numb. Your arms quickly follow. This is it, isn't it?
And you brought your little knife with you again.
А, нет,
Cute.
так некрасиво.
There has to be a way out of this. Think. What did you do? Pull yourself together. She isn't supposed to be like this.
I wonder how many times I'll get to play with you before you break.
Your vision cuts out as your blood begins to coagulate. It's as if every part of your being is coming to a lurching halt. Heart, lungs, liver, nerve. Your lungs pull in a desperate gulp of air as your eyes shoot back open. Nerves. What are you doing? I'm working. Do you want this body to function, or do you want... And then experience stops once more as your body reapproaches death. Okay, whatever you were doing, please just start doing it. You sure about that? Are you sure that's... You have second... Yes, I'm sure. Heart. Again, your eyes shoot open as you gasp for breath.
Can't decide what you want to do, can you? Oh well, standing there gasping like a fish is more fun than dead. Even if you look ridiculous.
She isn't attacking us. Why? The why doesn't matter. She's already proven her ill intent. Don't lose sight of your mission. Your weapon is still in your hands. Strike at her and end this before it's too late.
Нет, мы поверим ей. Именно в такие моменты нужно смотреть человеку в душу.
Because I don't want to. And even if I did, I don't have to. Look at the way you're struggling to stay alive. It's taking everything you have to keep your heart pumping right now. And I'm enjoying the show.
The princess leans forward, bringing her masked lips close to your ear.
If I want to see you gone, all I need to do is break your concentration.
Heart, lungs... Slowly runs her velvet glove across the base of your neck. It feels like static. And then... Hey, snap out of it. Okay, deep breath. You're back. Lungs, liver, nerves, heart.
One
lungs,
moment,
liver,
and then
nerves,
you're
heart,
gone.
lungs,
Just
liver, nerves,
like
heart,
that.
lungs, liver,
Ah,
nerves, heart,
and
lungs,
there's the
liver,
fear.
nerves, she pulls away.
But that wouldn't be very fun, now would it?
Lungs,
I've already done that.
nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart,
А,
nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver,
О, хороший
I am
вопрос.
what I am. It's not my fault that you can't handle being around me.
nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver.
Would you look at that? You're suggesting exactly what I want. Somebody's ahead of the curve.
Nerves, heart, lungs,
I tried to leave while you suffocated, but that stupid cabin wouldn't let me.
lungs,
So I started to drag your body out with me, and then...
liver,
Well, you died before I could get to the door. And then I was here, and now you're here too. I don't think I can leave without you. And dead doesn't count. And as much as I love what we have going on, I have bigger plans than tormenting one poor little creature forever. I want to leave.
Heart, lungs, liver, nerves, 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 heart, nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves. What? Heart, no! Lungs,
I knew you'd come around. Oh,
Уходим.
this is going to be so wonderful.
lungs, liver. No, I'm not going to let this happen. Before you can utter another word, your body stops moving. Do you think you can just wrest control away from us? This body's barely functioning as it is. Doesn't the world end if we fail to stop her? Won't letting us die here just make it end fast? Shit. Lungs, liver. With a flick of the princess's wrist, the stairs slide back into place. I can't believe you're making me watch you damn everyone to torment and oblivion.
Go ahead. I'll be right behind you.
Lungs, liver. Trust having our back to her. You're not wrong, but maybe you should let me handle the feedback. Just focus on. Besides, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver.
Погнали.
You place a shaky foot on the first step and begin your ascent from the basement. You can feel the static prickling of the princess on your neck, your limbs buzzing with pins and needles, an uncomfortable and constant reminder that you exist, and that your existence is so very precarious.
You're almost there.
The only thing left between you and the cabin is the now shut door to the basement. It would be a real shame. Oh, you snake. There wasn't even a door when we first got here.
Да, кстати,
It
двери-то
was
не
from
было.
last time. I told you we shouldn't trust him. I know he's messing with us, but you can't lose your cool. We need you right now. Remember? Yes, I remember. Of course I remember. Thank you. And you? You'd really rather us die down here than let her out? Of course I would. As much as I want you to have a happy ending, the fate of the world is a little more important, and you still have a weapon. You can still make this right. Lungs, liver, nerves, heart. Oh, look at that. It's locked. Nerves,
It'll open. You just have to give it a tug.
liver, nerves, heart, lung. You pull against the door. The lock gently clicks open in response to your effort, and the door creaks on its hinges. This isn't right. That's not even the way it's supposed to swing. It's supposed to swing out. You're not nearly as powerful as you'd have us think, are you? Anyways, like he said, you're not really in control here. I never said I was. If I was in control here, why would I need you to slay her? I don't know. Secret reasons?
The door is open. What are you dawdling for? It's time for us to go. The world is waiting.
Да.
Shit. The princess moves past you and into the cabin. This is it. This is your final moment to make things right. Kill her. I thought you wanted us to... It's the same thing. Do it. Do it now. Do it now or everything is over. Okay, what do we do? I said, what do we do? Oh, do you want to hear from me now? Yes. Well, I thought you needed me to run the autonomic nervous system. We do, but this is important. Look, I'll even do it myself. Just tell us who to
Тут
trust.
все манипулируют мной, просто все, поэтому я всегда обращаюсь к мокрым мещанам, когда я сомневаюсь. Вот так.
Brain. Right. Lung, liver. Okay. Heart, lung. You're dead. I know. Yes, it's very...
What are you doing?
Heart. Finally, I can talk. Now, what were you asking me? Running everything. They were asking you for your blessing to... Oh, that's right, yeah. Fuck this guy. Trust him. Really? So you'd have them trust... Oh, of course not. Can't trust anybody here but ourselves, but I guess that... I suppose if I had to make a choice, I'd pick the one that doesn't make our organs shut down. Thank you for your gracious... But that's a marginal preference. We'll have to deal with him later. I'd just rather deal with... Whatever. All right. I'm done. You can let me...
Finally, that was awful. I really don't know.
You've been standing there staring blankly for a while now, and I have to say my patience is running a little thin. So don't make a lady wait any
Да,
longer.
заставляем ждать девушку.
Open the door.
Nerves, heart, lungs. The doorknob twists in your hand, revealing the forested path beyond the cabin. Liver. You bastard. You've done it. You've actually do nerves, heart, lungs,
It's
liver.
so beautiful. I can't wait to ruin it. But it's so cold, too.
Lungs,
It's itching against my skin.
heart, lungs, liver,
Подустала.
Why is it so cold?
liver, nerves.
А, нам нужно их выпускать, чтобы, короче, вот та нейтральная сущность. Давайте посмотрим в зеркало.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and
Так, а
find
я
her?
всех выпустил, кстати, да, получается? Получается, да. Или нет? Ну, я надеюсь.
And there's that mirror again.
Смотрим в зеркало. После этого трофей всегда дают.
This doesn't feel right. It feels different. Final. It's calling us.
Никого нет. А, или есть. О! Это у нас сопливая рука стала.
I am a growing chorus of contradiction, a mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold. To look at any one is to shift them all into something new, and to look away is to reshape them yet again. All of me is changing, and yet the rest of me is still the same. My perspectives are shadowed. You have seen what I have seen.
Ну, короче, она
Just
ничего не
perhaps
знает.
this will change when our work is done.
А,
It changes me, but it doesn't make me worse, nor does it make me care for you any less. Does it make you worse? Do you
да, да, вот она мне все больше нравится.
It says that your heart is gentle, that even in the darkness you are guided by compassion.
Да, это я. Смотрю на свет, смотрю в душу людям, вот. Вижу свет. Ну ладно, погнали. В целом, на эти все вопросы я более-менее знаю ответы. Она, скорее всего, ничего не скажет. Или что-то еще осталось. Может, он... А, ну может на
The
это есть.
desires of my multitude thrive in endless competition with themselves, but none of them rise above their dance to influence me.
Ну, в смысле, типа, мы в любом случае вернемся и на
I
этом сегодня
yearn for what
закончим.
I have always yearned for, our awakening. Other desires shrink in the light of knowing you and knowing me. I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
You're on a path.
Все,
in the
ребят,
woods.
ладно, все на
And at
сегодня.
the end of that
Офигенная
path
игра, очень
is a
интересно, радует, что много людей на
And in the
стриме
basement of
и
that
очень
cabin
активные, все пишут,
is a
голосуют.
princess.
Приходите завтра, если вы не подписаны на мой канал, подписывайтесь. Начнем где-то с 8 до 9 я начну стрим, да, вот. Приходите, будет весело. Ну или напряженно, или как-то. Подписывайтесь, ставьте лайки, пишите комментарии, посмотрите стримы по Доки-Доки. Все. Всем пока и хороших вам снов, несмотря на такую мрачную игру.